Thanks for joining me again on MATJIUA, where I bring you all stories beautifully Namibian. Previously, I spoke about preserving our languages, and by your comments, it is evidently clear that we are in agreement that our languages are indeed in danger. And we need to preserve and protect them to ensure that future generations are able to still speak, read and write our languages. This is something very important. It helps with the continuation of our legacy as a people and as a race. So thank you for those comments. I love them. Let's share, let's keep talking. Thank you so much. As a nation, we are experiencing a serious drought, and it's just a matter of months before the taps run dry. And this is actually something very scary if you think about it. And I do believe that we can all do something about the situation. And when I say we, I mean everybody, from the young to the old, from the north to the south, the east and the west. So knowing me, I always like to ask myself, what can I do in a situation instead of being a passive observer? Today I'll be sharing with you tips on how to save water to ensure that we have a longer supply of water from our dams until hopefully we receive that rainfall. I hope that after this episode, we are going to be able to share more tips with one another. My number one water saving tip is for the ladies. You know, ladies, we like to get our face bit to try and look as good as we do. So at the end of the day, when you have to wash your face, instead of just going straight for the water in the basin, remove the makeup with some wipes. And then when you get to wash your face, you get to use less water. And what I like about that actually is the fact that you actually get to make sure that your eyes are properly cleaned if you're using mascara like I do, or so at least that helps to ensure that you really wash your face properly. Tip number 2, this goes out to everybody, young and old. Whenever you go for a shower or for a bath, there's normally that cold water that comes through from the hot water tap until the hot water starts to flow through. So that cold water that first comes out, you collect it in a bucket, and this is water that you could use for your laundry or you could use for your gardening purposes. Tip number 3, again, this applies to everybody. Tip number 3 is please turn off the water in the shower when you're busy lathering up the soap on your body. It seems like a bit of a challenge, especially in winter, because we all know it gets so cold, right? But in summer, we can all do it easily. Tip number 4 applies to everybody. I know the shower is the time that we use to reflect and think about the day. Whether it's in the morning, we will think about the day ahead, or it's in the evening, you're thinking about the day that just passed and thinking about tomorrow's plans. We are in a dire situation at the moment, so it will help a great deal if we can shorten the time in the shower or the bathtub. This ensures that while you're in the shower, you get to use less water because the tap is open for a shorter period. And when you're in the bathtub, you don't get tempted to actually add hot water onto the water that is in the tub because you're already done anyway. So yes, take a shorter shower, a shorter bath. Tip number 5, this is a personal favorite of mine, even though it does take some time getting used to, is putting a bucket in your wash basin in the kitchen. So whenever you peel off your vegetables or you rinse them off, the water that you use to peel, to rinse your food, this again is water that can be collected and you can use it in your garden to water your garden. Tip number 6. This is something that might be obvious to everybody, but nothing is always obvious to everybody. Please tell the kids and the elders too that when you're brushing the teeth, you need to close the tap. In between the brushing sessions, you really do need to switch off the tap. It's amazing if you have to think about the water that you collect while you're brushing your teeth. If you really want to see how much water you use when you're brushing and you don't close the tap, try closing the basin while you're brushing with the tap on, and you'll see how much water you could be actually saving. Tip number 7. If you have a tap that's leaking and you're still waiting for it to be repaired, which is the first thing that you should do, is to have it reported and have it fixed. So while we're obviously waiting for it to be repaired, you could put a bucket under the tap, and this is water that you could use to either clean your floors with, or laundry, or even gardening. So Yes, that is something very important that you could consider. And tip number 8, which is my last and final tip for you today, is when it comes to flushing of the toilets. You don't want to flush the toilets unnecessarily. If it is yellow, it's mellow. But if it is brownish, then you flush it. Okay? I hope that makes sense. But I'm sure you can all use our own common sense and flush when you really see that it's really necessary. Please report any leakages in your house or in your homes or in your community to the relevant authorities wherever you find yourself. Those were my 8 water saving tips. Please do share yours, and let's make it everybody's responsibility to be a water saving warrior. That will be all from me today. So until next time, this is MATJIUA, bringing you all stories beautifully Namibian. Okuheba.